Welcome to Creepy's Creep Show.
I get it. It was a vagina thing.
Well, yeah.
No.
It was a
was
vagina and a
more-
butt thing.
Mhm.
Yeah, there you
Oh.
go. Now you're getting it.
Okay, good.
2 and 2.
Well, 2 and 1.
Ha!
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I'm Dylan,
I'm Brian.
I'm Camille.
and this is Creepo's Creep Show.
Welcome
Hello.
to your doom.
So today,
Mm-hmm.
somber.
It is a somber day.
Even though this is gonna come out like pretty much like a week.
It'll be like 2 weeks, yeah, because when was it? It was like September 21st.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was whack, to say the fucking least. I was pretty bummed out about it. Yeah, it was the 21st.
Yeah. We're talking about Sid Haig.
Yeah.
The passing of Sid Haig.
Really, to be honest,
Mm-hmm.
as everybody who listens to the show and knows me knows that I didn't really watch movies that much, and am like the worst person to be on the show, but I am nonetheless.
You're
And
great.
I've only seen until this week,
Mm-hmm.
like the 2 or 3. Well,
Right.
incidentally, more than the 2 that I had thought. Like I'd only
Right.
seen Sid Haig and House of a Thousand Corpses and Devil's Rejects.
Right.
However, I watched those movies like 1,000 times.
Right.
Like I watched them constantly and loved them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And those are the ones that kind of reignited his career because he
Mhm.
took off for so long.
Yeah. But, he was in, he was in, 50 films and over 350
Yeah,
television
He
series?
was in Kill Bill.
Yeah.
Right?
He was in, he was in a lot.
Yeah, he was in the 60s Batman.
Yeah.
He was in Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah.
You name it,
Mhm.
and Sid
He
Haig
was
was
in it. Yeah.
somewhere.
I Love Lucy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a mummy in I Love Lucy. He was.
I grew up watching Buck Rogers in the 25th Century.
Aw.
Guess who was on there?
Sid Haig.
Sid
Yeah.
Haig.
I didn't realize that he was in Kill Bill because it has been a long time since I've
Right.
seen Kill Bill. But
Mhm.
going through, doing research for the episode and just doing research on him in general, just knowing how many movies I've actually seen with him in it is like, what the fuck?
It's
Whoops.
insane.
He
But
was even in George Lucas's first film, THX 1138.
Really?
Aw.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know
Um,
if I've ever stayed awake for all of that.
Yeah, it's a tough one. The director's cut is actually way better. It's the one time I will give George Lucas any credit for adding CGI to shit.
That's good.
Yeah.
Everybody gets one.
Yeah.
But we're not talking about any of that.
Nope.
We're talking about Galaxy of Terror.
Ultimately, yes.
We'll talk about other things for sure, but that's the movie we watched.
Yeah.
Anyway.
In honor of good old Sid.
Yeah, because couldn't watch House of a Thousand Corpses or Devil's Rejects. I mean, we could have. But that would have been the easy way out.
There's a lot of horror movies that he's been in, but Galaxy of Terror is just a fun one because it kind of encompasses a lot of different things, and the fact that Sid is kind of like an icon in just his persona and his appearance, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, his look is killer.
Yeah.
And what's neat is going back and looking at all the shit that he's been in. It's changed so much.
Yeah.
He is a great actor.
Right.
The way he looks in Galaxy of Terror compared to Captain Spaulding, obviously very different. He's a much older man,
Right.
but there's still that energy that he brings onto the screen. And in Galaxy of Terror, he fucking barely says shit.
No, he
at
says,
all.
well, yeah, he has one line in the entire movie,
Right.
which is hilarious because of the fact that whenever Rodger Corman had asked him to be in this movie, they had this kind of thing where all he had to do was just send Sid the script and the contract, and if he got the contract back, sweet, Sid was in it. Done deal. But then like Sid actually calls him the next day and he was like, okay, here's the thing. I want to be in this movie, but I want to make him mute.
Okay.
because his lines are garbage. Right?
Yeah.
Well, I think he felt like, oh gosh, sorry guys. I think he felt like the whole script was garbage.
The whole script is garbage.
Yeah,
yes.
he just didn't. He wanted to be in a Rodger Corman film because
Right.
he likes the human and he liked the film overall. But
Yeah.
the script was shit.
Yeah.
So he didn't really want to have to
But
say
he,
words.
But he
from
had to say the one line
it. Right.
that he lives and dies by the crystal.
It's so dope.
Yeah.
It is so dope.
He did get the coolest line.
He did.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Also,
Very much
the
so.
coolest dumbass weapons in the whole movie.
Oh yeah,
Like,
his fucking glass troll blades.
yeah,
you know?
triple decker thing. Yeah, dude. Like, badass.
Yeah.
And then, you know, as we find out later in the movie, gets killed by it for like it doesn't make sense.
No, none of it does.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
guess
that's the nature
kind
of
the
the-
point
yeah.
of the movie. Which, yeah, we'll get to that.
It's a
stuff.
scary planet full of scary stuff.
Yeah.
Hence it being a land of terror.
Yeah,
Yes.
Galaxy is a bit
Galaxy.
much.
Galaxy.
They
is
were
a
all
whole
in
lot.
one place.
They were only
Yeah.
on one planet.
But I wasn't sure what I was getting into with this movie. I thought it was going to be different because I don't know fucking about this movie or any other movie that this director has made. Like going into it, I was like, man, I bet this is gonna be just so cool.
And I mean, it is.
Mhm.
I mean, there's a lot of really cool things about the movie,
Yeah.
but not the movie itself.
It's
Mhm.
fun.
Yeah.
It's goofy. It's fun.
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah.
that's the thing with Rodger Corman. I mean, this guy is the king of B movies, and
Mhm.
I mean, he's had over 400 movies that he's made, and he's still making movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
None of them are top-notch tier list of movies.
Yeah.
I mean, he's obviously going to have some cult classics in there.
Well,
right?
he does. He's got a book on it.
He
If
does.
anybody wants to do it, he's got a book. How I made over 100 movies and never lost a dime or
Right.
some shit like that. Like,
I think you nailed it. Actually.
cool.
That's
Yay.
exactly what
Yeah.
it is.
awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. He's known for stretching the budget, like
Mhm.
getting every last dime of whatever he can out of his budget.
hmm
So,
I mean,
you know.
that I feel like that's what you got. That's what you should do.
Yeah,
right? Is
yeah.
like
Yeah.
putting every like dollar you spend somehow on the screen, like in a way, you know.
Yeah, well, and I think also if you know your audience, which is what everybody says about him, he knows his audience. He knows,
Mhm.
you know, he's there to basically sell like tits and ass and goop and blood and whatever. Like,
Mhm.
and so that's pretty easy to do
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
a budget.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
Yeah.
like Goop doesn't cost that much, and Diddy's are free.
Yep, that is. No, you got to pay for those actually.
Yeah.
That's,
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, not if you're born with them. Is what I'm saying.
no, but you,
Mm.
the actress, you got to pay that.
you
Sometimes
gotta
you got
pay
to
that
get a body
actress.
double, which costs more money. And
Mhm.
that's probably the more expensive part of it, actually.
I
The
would
body
think so.
double?
Yeah.
Or just the tits.
I probably the package, the package deal. I think it's a package deal sometimes, but titties are cool, and there are some in this movie. So
Mhm.
Yeah. There are.
who wants
There's
to
a
do
few
it?
of them.
Yeah, just a few, just a few.
So we could give it a rundown. Is that
Yeah,
what we're
let's
talking
do
about?
like a brief description of this gem.
Okay. Well, there is a planet called Morganthus, right?
Yes,
That
dope.
yeah, it's a pretty sick name. This guy with a glowing head goes by the name of Planet Master. It's kind of in control of this situation.
Oh God.
Redhead.
And yeah.
Total ginger.
Yeah, he this ship that is on Morganthus is attacked by some crazy beasts, right? And so
Crazy beast.
crazy beasts.
Yes.
And so he hires a member of his elite force, of his squadrons of planets, to go to Morganthus and check it out.
Real quick, and I'm not trying to split hairs here. Does he actually hire them?
Yeah,
Like,
no, they're his crew. Like that's his people. He is their master.
it is right. But
Yeah.
I was just wondering if there was talk of like a money transaction, because I feel like
No,
if
they're
a
the
dude with like
military.
okay,
Yeah,
like a dude with a
part of his
glowing
military.
red head is just, like literally just like pulsing.
Right.
Like he's not dealing in fucking cash. You know what I mean? He's just like,
your
I'm
soul.
gonna-
I'm
that's
gonna
it.
need that.
The currency that I use is your soul
Yeah.
and stardust, and that is it. Strictly it.
That's
like,
it.
damn. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So,
So he was the one that
yeah, he hired them. Well, he didn't hire them. He recruited them. Summoned them to go check out the wreckage.
Okay.
And basically, the crew gets there. Right now, the crew is pretty awesome. I gotta say, this is a huge mashup
Dude.
of people.
So tight.
Yeah,
It's a lot.
Because
It's
it's
such a weird
yeah.
group.
You've got Joni Cunningham,
Mhm.
right?
Yes.
You've got Captain Spaulding.
Yep.
Right.
You've got Freddy Krueger
Yes.
and My Favorite Martian,
Yeah.
Yeah.
all on a spaceship together.
Dude.
Super exciting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah.
We'll get to it later, but I don't understand the ending of this movie before the ending of this movie.
There's
You know what I mean?
We'll get to a whole thing
but
about that.
just with the stairs, and it's
There's-
you just walk up the
Yeah,
stairs. You just
There's
hippity hop after
Yeah.
him.
yeah.
I don't know.
There's
Yeah.
I
a
don't know.
lot about Rodger Corman movies in general that
Just don't make sense.
you just don't you take it at face value.
I feel like what's the dude's name that is Freddy Krueger?
Robert
Robert
Englund.
Englund.
Robert Englund. He's like reading the script. It's like gets to the end, and he's just like, "Okay, is there anything?" It seems like you just stopped writing me. I don't know. Is that what happened? Like, there's another page, right? It's like, nope.
No.
But there is though. Like, no.
No.
You-
In fact,
you're
the
just
way-
done.
Yeah.
The way it was written is he wrote the opening scene and then he wrote the ending scene and shot those, and then he was like, let's fill in the gaps, and that was his gaps. There was no means. There was a whole other
So he
thing.
made like a whole completely different movie
Pretty
in the
much.
middle.
Yeah, because here's so yeah. So obviously, if this premise sounds pretty familiar, yes, it is exactly Alien, because he was supposed to have actually made Alien,
Right.
but then they changed studios and obviously didn't get to make that movie. But he still wanted to make Alien.
I'm gonna say, good. I mean,
Yeah, you gotta
yeah.
follow your dream. I guess.
Yeah.
You know?
especially when it's taken away from you.
Yeah.
Just
So
snatch
he
it
made
on
his
back.
own Alien.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, he was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna make my own."
Yeah.
And this is Galaxy of Terror.
Oh my gosh. Goodness.
Oh god.
Now, here's the thing.
The
So
middle brother of the franchise of Alien. Is Galaxy of
that's
Terror.
pretty much the movie, right? Is like now you've got this crew investigating the previous crew,
Right.
gets attacked by aliens.
Yes.
Everybody basically fucking dies.
Yep.
Ends up that the Planet Master has created this whole game to create a new master, which was the captain of the ship. And he just had to test him, and then made him walk through voids and this, that, and the other,
Right.
to become the master, and then that's the end of the movie. Not a whole lot about this movie makes any sense whatsoever.
What do you mean? This makes perfect sense.
Yeah. There's no reason for this to have happened, because from the get-go, he just wanted to pick the right guy to kill him. I don't know. So
Yeah.
this is like it's an assisted suicide movie, is what this movie is.
Oh, Roger Corman.
Yeah.
I
Or
feel like this is how we should get new presidents or
Yeah.
the Pope.
Right.
Who?
Recruit somebody to kill them.
Mhm.
And
Like, oh, you want to be the new Pope? Well,
here's the thing.
you have to travel through the Vatican of terror.
Yes.
And then if you kill me, you become the new Pope.
Right.
So sick.
But if you don't, then I'll find another guy.
Right. Because at this point,
And that'll be Vatican of Terror too.
you've been like, yeah, you've been Pope for fucking like 40 years. You're
Right.
over it. Like, don't even believe in God anymore. And you're like, I just need a motherfucker to kill me. But we
Please.
have to do these rules where you go through the Vatican of Terror.
I know, it makes
and
no
it's
sense.
just bullshit.
But it's okay.
Yeah.
Just follow the rules,
Yeah,
goddamn.
definitely. So it's like that, but in the galaxy and on one planet.
Right.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously plot and story is complete and utter bullshit.
Yep.
What was the name of who was the pilot who was insane? What was her name?
Oh, Grace Zabriskie. Was it Trantor? You have the list of
Yeah. So,
Captain Trantor,
There we
Yes.
go.
who did not know how to fly a ship
No,
for nothing.
no. At one point, she just gave up.
Yeah,
She
she's
was
I'm
like,
done.
shit is broke, and then like turns her seat around and like sits down like she's just pouting. She just like turns around, arms crossed, just like, well, this stuff is broken. And then the other dude is just like, yo, bitch, we're about to crash.
But then the ship comes to a soft landing on the planet's surface, and everything's okay.
well,
Yeah.
what's really crazy though is how when she first started piloting said ship. Yep.
Yeah.
She just like hopped on the ship and was like, "We're leaving in 30 seconds."
Just hit fucking
Just-
go.
Yeah.
Nobody's. They didn't close the doors. Nothing.
Dude, it's just there's steps, you
Yeah.
know? And then everyone on board was just like, well, that's just how it is. Like,
Yeah.
guess we gotta buckle up and have 30 seconds to boogie.
Oh yeah, and that's why Freddie ends up in what's her name's lap, because the ship takes off so fast that she has to hold him.
Yeah.
Let me hold you.
And like, so she takes off in like 30 seconds, and then they're like, you know, just flying. And then she's just like, all right, time to go fucking fake warp speed.
Yes.
And everyone's like, whoa.
No, not fake warp
Yeah.
speed.
And it's just
No.
like, hey,
We've gone plaid.
yeah. But it's just like, we can't do that yet. We can't do that right now. That's
No.
like, no.
No,
And then she's
nobody-
just like,
Done.
doing it anyway.
We're already here.
Yeah, and then
Fucking
that's when the
hold on
ship
to your
gets
butts.
all fucked.
Yeah.
And then she turns around and it's just like, no.
Yeah.
No, you did every bit of this.
Right.
Like, yeah, and then like somehow just like fucking whoop, just lands
Just
it.
land softly.
She's a sad lady, though, you guys.
Yeah, every
Lots
time.
of sadness and rage
Yeah.
in her.
Yeah.
It's
and
like anytime somebody brought up like her last mission, she got like real fucked.
right.
Just like the music changed and she like looked away from the camera and she's like,
Yeah.
and everyone's like, oh, dude, yeah, don't fucking bring that up to her. She's gonna fly us into the side of a mountain and she's gonna survive.
Yeah.
Because she's a bad bitch.
She's the soul survivor.
Yeah, well, she fucking got exploded. So, I mean,
Yeah.
After
Well-
playing a video game. Spacing out on video games.
Yeah.
dude,
Oh, jeez.
with that fucking cook that was just not a cook.
No, he didn't cook anything.
He just kept bringing cups and plates from room to room.
Which, yeah,
an
so
apron.
they just
He
so
had a
when
silver
everybody
apron.
it kicks everybody off the ship to go check out everything, and fucking Zalman King's like setting everything on fire and blasting every little fucking thing he sees.
It was ridiculous.
And she and the cook are just hanging out on the ship drinking the entire time.
Mhm.
They're like, "Yep,
Just-
sucks to be them."
Just shooting the
With their
shit.
fucking headlight backpacks that are barely hanging on.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Here's the thing about a backpack.
You mean the half strap packs?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
just
dude.
hanging off
Yeah.
their shoulders. There is no like straps to that thing whatsoever. How are you gonna go fucking climbing mountains on space terrain? Which another thing,
Space Train is a dope band
no
name.
helmets, right? Do they
Right.
just know? Hey, we can breathe here.
Well, no, they
Yeah.
did say that though.
Okay.
They were like, "Oh, turns out we can breathe here. Better put on our,
Half pack.
half packs with car headlights
yeah,
on our backs."
which was the only use for those. Apparently, was just so they
Mm-hmm.
could have some headlamps.
Yeah, it's like
Seems like an actual like flashlight on your head would be
Yeah,
more efficient.
makes
Were
way
those a
more
thing?
sense.
Yeah.
Those
I
were
mean,
probably a thing,
those-
right?
Yeah.
Oh, coal miners.
Yeah,
Of course those were
exactly.
things.
yeah. I was
Yeah.
about to say you could have filled this ship up with like a dozen coal miners,
right.
and this would have been nipped in the butt
That's
Yeah, it
true.
would've been
very
done.
quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good point.
but no.
Yeah.
Instead, we're gonna use this fucking hook back.
dude.
They look so uncomfortable too. Like, what do you think those did to your
Right.
shoulders?
Exactly.
Oh, dude.
It's not like
Ugh.
they were ergonomic by any means.
Oh,
No.
But
I mean,
they were
like,
great for that slide.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is apparently the only real entrance into this fucking giant pyramid, besides the stairs, is through a fucking McDonald's slide of terror
Yeah.
into basically the void, is
Yeah.
what that is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a separate use for the backpacks, which was just setting them down
Right.
so that you would have light. That was it. It was
Yeah.
just like,
It was utilitarian in
mhm.
one aspect.
Also, okay, real quick, just have to touch on this because you brought it up, and it's fucking hilarious. It is definitely like Roger Corman was like, dude, you know what's super sick about Alien? And everyone was like, what? He was like, the flamethrower. You know what sucks though?
Yeah.
No one got to use it. Like,
No.
oh man, yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I'm gonna do, Robert Corman. I'm gonna give it to this guy,
Yeah.
and then he's gonna use it
Every
every
time.
time.
All
Every-
the time.
on anything,
Yeah.
on an arm with maggots on it. He's
Yeah.
just like, blow it up,
Yeah.
light it on fire. Like, well, you don't have to do any of
No.
this. Like,
No.
like when
That
they
was his sole purpose in this entire movie, was to act like a douchebag and
Yep.
set shit on fire.
yeah, dude,
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
never
He
give a
got it.
dickhead a flamethrower.
It's like, I'd like to see like the audition for that. Like, well, you look the part. Can you set shit on fire? Sold.
Oh
Perfect.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. And it was like, you know, if you are sent by the master
Right.
to investigate this crash ship, right? So you get your ass
Right.
essentially thrown through space to get there.
To a guy named Planet Master,
Mhm.
right? It's like Emperor Palpatine. You're
Right.
gonna do your fucking job to a T.
Yeah.
You're gonna be on it
Yes.
every step of the way.
And this dude doesn't even have a fucking face.
No.
It's just a red ball,
Yeah.
and you get flung through space by some fucking PTSD bitch, right?
Right.
And then you find the ship, and it's like, all right, we got to investigate the ship. No, definitely, we do need to do that. However, all these bodies are really stinking this place up. Better light them on fire.
Right.
It's just like,
It's a little barbecue.
yeah,
No big
like,
deal.
I don't know. Maybe try and find some fucking dog tags or some shit, or like take their half packs with you with
Yeah.
like their fucking name engraved on it. I don't
Yeah.
know.
And instead, it takes them 10 minutes to be like, well, these fuckers are gone. We don't know. Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
That's it.
Time to boogie.
Yeah.
No. What?
Did they decide that? Was there ever a discussion about leaving before a bunch of people died?
No.
Okay.
No. And again, the story is bullshit.
Yeah.
There's.
It's so fun though.
Yeah.
Like, it sounds like I'm talking shit on it, and I am a little bit, but it's like really funny and super fun because when they go into the ship and dude starts lighting everything on fire just willy-nilly, no one gives a shit.
Yeah.
And then there's the guy who's essentially just like pissing his pants from like the moment that they leave to the time that he gets murdered
Yes.
by a claymation alien, which
Right.
was dope.
Yes.
He's just
And
like
like
poke, poke, poke,
Yeah.
squeeze, squeeze, squeeze.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then after like they're all like, all right, totally know you're shitting your pants back there, but we're out. And then he's like, okay, be there in a second. Totally be there in a second. I'm just openly weeping.
Yeah.
And they're like, cool, bye. And then this like by the time he's finally like, whew, all right, cool,
Man.
calm, and collected.
Yeah.
And then this alien's just like, meow, and then murders him. And then now we're back in the ship,
Yep.
and everyone's like, what happened to him? Oh, that bitch is dead.
He's gone.
The newbie didn't make it.
Yeah, like nobody gave a rat's ass
Cut.
about this guy at all. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know, some alien
Yeah.
just killed him.
Just
Just
like
like,
the course, I guess.
yeah, it's
So-
like, did you get his body? I'm like, nope, lit it on fire. Why are you lighting everybody's bodies on? It's just my thing, man. It's just my
That's what I
thing.
do. That's what
Everybody's
I'm
got
here
their
for.
thing.
Yeah.
The ship's pyrotechnician.
Oh my god.
I will say, so yes, as ridiculous as this movie is,
Uh-huh.
this type of movie, you don't go into expecting a whole lot, right?
Mhm.
I mean, a B movie is naturally just horrible, but
Yeah.
still great. I mean, look at movies like Killer Clowns from Outer Space or The Stuff or Chud. You know, some of my favorite just silly ass, no sense making movies.
No sense have an ass movie.
Yeah.
Well, I had expectations right up until I saw Planet Master, and then I was like,
Nope.
And that's 2 minutes in.
oh yeah, no, I gave up quickly, and then it was just like, oh, okay, I can have fun now because I don't want to make the same mistake that I
Right.
did with the entire Evil Dead franchise
Oh.
until fucking years and years later
Yeah.
when I watched Army of Darkness, and I'm like, oh, you're the asshole, not the movie.
Right.
You gotta fucking relax. And then I did, and I was like, oh, this fucking franchise is great, and the remake can suck a dick.
Yeah.
For the most part, it's good,
Well,
but
I still like the remake.
Oh no, the remake is great. However,
for a different reason.
yeah, it's a completely different
Yeah.
reason. Like when I went back and watched it a couple months ago and didn't see a face on the Necronomicon, I was like, I'm out. And then I stopped watching the rest of the movie. Like it was on,
Yeah.
but then I cleaned my room, which was what I needed to do. And anyway,
Anyways,
but like I had to tidy up. But yeah, as soon as I saw Planet Master, I was just like, it's that. It's that. It's the same thing. You gotta just
ride it out.
Chill
ride it
out.
out.
Yeah.
And then I
And
had
I
a
knew you were
blast.
expecting a lot. I knew you were expecting a lot because we were like, I remember when we were like, we should do a tribute to Sid Haig. What are
Yeah.
we gonna do? Galaxy of Terror, and you're
Yeah.
like, sick.
Yeah. You were like, you just whipped that one out like Galaxy of Terror. I'm like, fuck yeah. Like I'm like at work at rodeo and I'm just like, man, that sounds cooler than anything I'm doing here right now. And then we turned it on and I was like, ooh, you snake ass bitch, Brian. Got me watching B movies by accident. But I mean like
But it's two classic characters. You got Captain Spaulding, you got Freddy Krueger, right? Which both of these guys are the selling point of this movie. Sid Haig, obviously, as far as this guy is a method actor in most regards. I mean, he is that character all the time, right?
I did read that he stopped talking for like 8 months and only carried around glass knives
Yes,
to get ready for this movie.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
No.
No, he didn't.
No.
But regardless,
That did not happen.
The minute
No.
you see him walk into the ship cockpit and sit down, you're like, that guy's a badass.
Yeah, like,
And then as soon as Robert Englund walks in, he's like, and you're just like, yeah,
you're gonna kill kids later.
yeah, you're a science officer. I get it.
Oh my God.
Fucking nerd. Yeah, definitely.
Which this is what, 2 years, because this is when okay, so Galaxy of Terror came out in 81.
Yeah.
Right, when did V came out in like 83, I want to say.
V for Vendetta.
No, V, which was this movie in the early 80s that was on television, which is what made Robert Englund famous. So like this was kind of his earlier career before it, and he basically just played one of these aliens. So V is basically the premise of aliens have come to Earth and they're all these reptiles. Nobody knows they're all reptiles because they look like us, because they wear these disguises to look like us. And then it slowly evolves to where you find out they're lizard people and this, that, and the other. But Robert Englund plays
like real
just
life.
like one of the mechanics for the aliens, and he's just your normal, he's just a guy. And he's happy-go-lucky.
Is he like a human?
No, he's an alien.
Okay, because that would be even better if he
But
was
just,
like,
like,
he was kind of
hired him on as a contractor.
yeah.
Yeah.
you look like a dweeb. You could do this, right? Like, oh yeah, no.
But he was kind of
definitely.
a lead in that, right? So he
Uh-huh.
was like a pivotal character in most regards. And then that's from that series is what they were like, you should be Freddy Krueger. And he was like, sick. And now he's
Such a
just
weird
that
jump.
shit. Yeah. Well, it's just because of the way that he was acting.
Yeah.
You know, it's like he's a great character. And same with Sid Haig. I mean, Sid Haig had been in so much stuff prior to that, you know, having him in anything. I don't know that he ever really had lead roles, but he was.
I think
like,
it was mostly supporting.
Well, there was
right.
There
He was in
one-
Foxy Brown and like played not the lead character, but you know, part of like that top lead crew
Right.
of actors or whatever. So
There was one thing that he was. Oh God, he wasn't the lead, but he was like the main villain in this like sci-fi TV show. I can't remember what it was called. His character name was like Dragon.
Dragon.
What was it?
that? I don't know. Regardless.
Yeah, I'll look it up. I can't remember what it was, but I know where to find it because it sounds cool. And I posted a picture of him in costume.
Yeah.
It's on that Instagram post, and it's like the one where he's got like this wicked ass eye and like a red cloak.
Yes. What was that show?
But it was
gotta find it now too.
It was fucking so sick. But
Yeah, Jason of Star Command. That's
there
what
we
it
go.
was.
Yeah.
Rip. Whoop. Hey, there's some music.
That's where I found it. Like just like we were trying to find the. So I guess quick backstory of just him. Not only is he an amazing actor, but he's also a musician, and he is a phenomenal drummer. And he played for this band called the T-Birds on a song called Full House. And he's playing like very fucking like heavy duty like swing and jazz drum parts.
Well, he was
Yeah.
a blues guy. Like he had been a blues guy since he was a kid.
Mhm.
He was just always into the blues.
Yeah.
And makes perfect sense for that type of music.
Yeah.
Well, I think also because you said that by the time that he was playing in a band in high school, rock and roll had only come out, had been exposed to the world like a few years prior
Oh,
to
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So it just kind of like blew his mind.
Yeah.
And then he was hooked after
Mhm.
that.
It's crazy because when he passed away, I knew that he was older.
Right.
I did not know that he was 80 years old.
Doesn't
Yeah.
look it, or didn't look it.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, like, you know, he looked old, but he always, like, after somebody, like, said this to me, it kind of always has stuck, which I think is why I like him so much, is he has, like, the same sort of, like, body as my grandpa.
Aw,
So he's like,
yeah.
You know, like, taller,
Mhm.
bald,
Right.
and a beard,
Yeah.
and it's just like real nice, and but also can look intimidating.
Oh yeah.
Right.
And like all of that is my grandpa. And like I was like when I was watching these movies like constantly all the time, this girl that I was dating was like, Sid Haig looks like your grandpa, and I was just like, no, he doesn't. No. And then I saw him without clown makeup and stuff, and I was like, ooh,
Totes.
yes, he does. A little bit. Like, definitely.
One of the things I gotta say about him is, you know, we were watching just tons of like Q&As from different Comic Cons and this stuff, and it was like, as he was as a person, he was just so just mild mannered, you know. It was like, yeah, he knew he'd been in a bunch of shit and he'd done some pretty cool stuff and this,
Yeah.
that, and the other. But it was like every time somebody was like, you know, what's your least favorite role, or what's your, you know,
What was your favorite movie
or
or
whatever,
blah, blah, blah.
and he was like, I don't look at any of that stuff like that whatsoever. I was just in it. I had fun doing this, but
Yeah.
he's like, I'm not here to judge anything. It's like, who am I to judge anything? So
Right.
he was just a simple dude that just wanted to work and just wanted to act, and that
Yeah.
was kind of the really cool thing to see, like, characteristically about who he was as a person,
Mhm.
you know, outside of all these fucked up characters that he's played,
Yeah.
you know. And it's refreshing to see, you know, those from like actors that nowadays, I mean, most of the time they're like, oh, this role sucked because, you know, I only got this much time in the movie or whatever, you know. And it was just like, he just wanted to work, he just wanted to act, he cared about story, he cared about like how this character was going to be portrayed, and he wanted that character to be represented well, and he pulled it out of himself to make that character.
Yeah.
Because he was a certified hypnotherapist.
Yeah, he was a
Right?
certified hypnotherapist.
And so he would talk about whenever he made Captain Spaulding, they were like, well, what was your inspiration and everything? And he was like, well, you know, all of us have all of these traits in us. And so it was just a matter of me finding Captain Spaulding inside of me and bringing that out. And it wasn't like based on any particular character or anything
Right.
like that. And it's kind of the beauty. It makes it such an original character because it's the most genuine in that regard. I mean, there
Yeah.
is no basis of comparison.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I also thought something that was kind of cool though, like, yes, he was very I felt like he was probably just grateful for all the experiences that he had, which is probably why he refused to choose like a favorite role that he played or a favorite movie that he acted in, because it was all experience.
Yeah.
But when he got to the point where he was tired of being typecast as like just a dude with a gun,
Yeah,
you
or
know,
the bad guy,
right?
You know?
He quit acting,
Mm-hmm.
and when he quit acting in 1992, that's when he, you know, he started experiencing all those other things. That's when he became a certified hypnotherapist and just like experiencing other parts of his life.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he came back to acting, when Quentin Tarantino wanted him to be in Pulp Fiction, and he turned it down because he had talked to his agent about how he wanted to start acting again, but he didn't want to shoot on these super duper duper tight short time frames where you wouldn't have any room for character development.
Right.
And so he read the script, and he was supposed to be
Was
what
it
was
De Niro's character?
no, it was Ving Rhames' character.
Oh, was it Ving Rhames? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
He was supposed to play like the big bad dude, Ving Rhames' character.
Oh,
Yeah.
Marcellus Wallace.
That's right.
Yeah.
Damn.
So, but in this, in the script or their, I don't know, like their shoot little schedule or whatever,
Mhm.
it was only supposed to be done in one day, and he was like, "I told you fuckers,
Yeah.
I'm not doing that shit anymore."
Yeah.
Because his perception was it was also, 4 different locations. So
Right.
he was looking at it as 4 different spots in one day.
Yeah.
Right.
Done.
Yeah. So he turned it down.
Yeah.
But then he found out after the fact that that is not actually how Quentin Tarantino works. Even if the
Mhm.
studio says like this is how you have to do it, Quentin Tarantino will say,
Fuck
"We'll
that."
say what we can do,"
Oh,
you know. And
yeah.
like if we can do it in one day, cool. But if we have to do it in 2 weeks, then that's what we're gonna do.
Mhm.
So he was bummed that he missed out on that. But then he got to go on to other
Right.
roles and get to work with him in Kill Bill.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what he really liked about working with Rob Zombie and Quentin Tarantino is that they let him do his thing
Right.
Yeah.
to develop his character.
Mhm.
So he
yeah. And
he
it was
paved the
Rob
way
that
for
brought him back.
himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was just really neat.
Yeah. For him to have like built this entire career is like, you know, characters like how he was typecast, or like, you know, characters like how he was in Galaxy of Terror, and just like
Mhm.
these like little bit parts and stuff like that. Like asking him to be in your film in like the 90s, it's, you know, it's just like you want him because you know
Right.
that he's going to fucking work his ass off,
Mhm.
and everybody is going to know who this motherfucker is,
Yeah.
which is awesome. And you got to know to let him do his thing. Like,
Right.
you know, like with Rob Zombie, I guess apparently, I mean, Rob Zombie doesn't really, I mean, he's a director and, you
Yeah.
know, he writes the movies and everything like that. But
And it was
he doesn't really push people
No.
or like stop and be like, oh, well, we do this whole thing, or you should do this. It's just like little shit, you know.
Right.
It's just like, hey, I know you know how to act, that's why you're fucking here. I don't.
Yeah.
Maybe you try this one thing, and then they do it, and then it brings so much to the movie, and it's
Mhm.
like stuff like that, you know, is very cool.
And
but-
Rob Zombie knew that. That was kind of the thing whenever, because it was like some deal they were hanging out at, what was it, Robin Sherry's like wedding reception or something like that.
Mhm.
And Sid was like hanging out with Rob's brother, and they were just chit chatting and this, that, and the other. And in passing, his brother was like, you know, Rob's been thinking about movies, and he's like, if I ever had a chance to direct, he'd have to cast Sid in something or whatever. And Sid was like, I'm down. And then, oh, lo and behold, he starts working on 1,000 Corpses, and he was like, I need Sid Haig. And
Yeah.
that fucking blew him back up because he
Mhm.
let him do that. He let him be that character.
like one of, like, you know, I'm not gonna boil down his whole career to say that Captain Spaulding is his like most like renowned character.
Only in just in recent years,
Right.
because he took that gap for so long. That,
Right.
you know, you don't really know a lot of his early days.
I don't want to say it, but I'm gonna
Yeah.
a little bit, just halfway, because yeah, I mean, like for a lot of people, that's when they first saw him. That's when I first saw him. But then, like after that, seeing him in Bone Tomahawk,
Yeah.
for just a second, like
right.
it was just like, oh fuck yeah, dude, this is
Yeah.
rad. And then like knowing that he was in Kill Bill, and like I don't remember him being in it, but I remember like the character that he was.
Yeah,
and
he's
it's
just
just like,
bartender. Yeah.
yeah, but
Nothing
he's
crazy.
got like a just his look, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, like when it comes down to like some actors, it's just like the way that they just are is cool enough. Like,
right.
Right.
you know, if Sid Haig was in a bar scene where he has 0 lines but is sitting at a table playing like poker or something like that, it's like, oh, you don't fuck with those
No.
dudes over there ever.
No.
Like you can fight all throughout this bitch, but if you go over there, he will kill you. Like,
Yeah.
that's it.
That's
Like
just it.
that's what
Don't
you
worry
know.
about
That
it.
feel is like what he brings, and like to have him as like in the foreground of House of a Thousand Corpses and
Mhm.
Devil's Rejects. It's just like being able to take all that experience that he had as being like the bad guy and being like bit characters or like just like little side characters here and there, And it's just like he's got all that work to build into this one fucking iconic, gnarly ass character.
Yeah.
It's just like
Which-
brilliant.
Speaking between those two movies, so in-house, Sid created Captain Spaulding,
Mhm.
right? But then it was in Devil's Rejects where Rob saw what Sid had made, and then built a backstory with it. And then Sid was just like, he was riding it because he was just that character at that point.
Yeah.
And it was like, he just wanted to create this persona and then let Rob just build that persona on a history. You know? And that was kind of a neat collaboration between those two.
Mhm.
I don't know. We just got off on a super big Sid tangent.
That's okay. That's kind of what
That's
we're
what
here
this
to do.
episode was for anyway,
Yeah.
so.
You know what I think is really funny and super cute to think about the fact that like he's played so many different kinds of roles, but obviously predominantly, like, especially in the recent history,
Mhm.
like just super creepy, gnarly, badass guys that will probably do horrible, atrocious things to your body
Yes.
and kill it, or kill it and then do those things. Like, you don't know.
You
You
don't
don't know what he
Right.
could do. But the fact that like when he was a kid, he was growing so fast that he had to take dance classes.
Yeah.
And then had a career in vaudeville at the age of 7 dancing.
Yeah.
Like, thinking about that is the cutest thing ever. It is so adorable. It makes
Yeah.
my heart hurt.
Yeah. Oh, it's sweet.
Ugh.
Oh, it's so I didn't think about this until just now. The first episode of this podcast this podcast was about House of a Thousand Corpses and Devil's Rejects. That's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, it's not, but like the fact that our logo is a clown is
Mhm.
definitely, this isn't lost on that for
No,
me because that's why clowns are creepy as fuck to me. It's mostly because of Captain Spaulding. Like
Right.
before, I did not like them anyway. Like they are disgusting. But then Sid Haig brought that out
Yeah.
in my brain. Like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, they're gross because of this right here. Yeah. This is why,
This
because
is
I
why.
think that every clown is like this.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Also, Dahmer. Nope.
Nope. What?
Nope. Nope. Who is it? Which one is it? It's Gacy.
Yep.
Got it.
There
you
You were
are.
just looking
There
at
you
me.
are.
I knew you were gonna get it.
Yeah, it was coming.
Oh my gosh.
Mhm.
Yeah. It was definitely Gacy for me.
Yeah.
That's actually who my mom, when she saw the logo, she was like, "That looks like Pongo." I was
Yeah.
like, yes, it does.
Yeah. It was
Spooky.
like it was where Mike Allen made the logo, and like that's
Thank
kind
you.
of like one of the as soon as he sent it back, it was like, fuck, it looks just like, not just like, but like total John Wayne Gacy vibes for sure.
Yeah.
Right. With a dash of Captain.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like if Captain Spaulding and Pongo the Clown made a love child somehow.
What?
Yeah, I know.
Whoops.
So gross.
Okay, real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take a quick break and maybe get back on track when we come back to
definitely.
talk about
There's
Galaxy
a
of
lot
Terror.
more to talk about.
There
with
is.
Galaxy of
It's
Terror.
just there's a lot to talk about with just the dude,
Mhm.
in general, which
Yeah.
is fun.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
we'll be right back.
What's up, party people? My name's Clint.
And my name is Jeff. We're the hosts of Flawed Laws.
It's a podcast where we talk about wacky laws in all 50 states with a special guest.
Hey, Clint, did you know any dog with a tattoo must be reported to the police in Connecticut?
Yes, I did. Did you know that selling ice cream at a cemetery is illegal in Destin, Florida?
I sure did.
Well, there's plenty more where that came from.
You got that right, buddy.
So subscribe to our podcast, Flawed Laws, and follow us on Instagram at Flawed Laws Pod.
Hey, we release a new episode every Wednesday.
Bye.
See ya.
Galaxy of Terror.
Galaxy or Terror, or a little of both. Thanks to Sid Haig, man of the crystals, death, and life.
We're back.
By the crystal,
Come on.
but not a
What?
crystal man.
What am I not?
He's made of flesh and blood,
He's still going?
with crystal in its veins.
Crystal Man, take me by the
Lady in Crystal. Hey guys.
Hey, we're back.
Oh boy, are we?
We were talking about.
Boy, howdy.
Hey guy. Get it? Boy, howdy.
Mm-hmm.
Hey guy. Galaxy of Terror.
Uh-huh.
The greatest worst movie ever made.
The second half is going to be funnier than the first.
Ooh.
'Cause we're
Talking about some
sleepy.
dumb
We're
shit.
sleepy.
Yes.
And we are talking about some dumb shit. I
Yeah.
cannot wait to get into the fact that, what's her name? Captain Trantor? Again, died after playing a video game.
Yeah.
And I
Yes.
can't help but think that the government did that.
Oh god damn.
Technically,
Okay.
you're not wrong.
Because I've seen a whole lot of these propaganda video game commercials
Oh, boy.
flip-flopping around the internet for the lulz. But
What was the U.S. Army FPS game that came out a decade ago? That it was like American Soldier. Learn this game and you'll fight Al Qaeda.
that horse shit
Yeah.
where it was just like, hey, if you learn how to play this video game, now you can be a soldier or some dumb shit like that.
Yeah.
Dude, scam.
Hey,
Really?
Oh.
Yeah.
real quick though,
Hmm?
you know what comes out tomorrow on PSN?
What?
Well, for October,
Okay.
because tomorrow is not necessarily going to be the case. It would have been out already at this point when this
Yes.
episode releases, because we're living in the future.
Yes, yes.
Last of Us remastered.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I already have that. It came with my PlayStation. Burn.
I never got to finish it, so I'm going to,
Yeah.
because
It's a good
Last of
one.
Us 2 is in February.
That is true.
Sick. Anyways, Galaxy of Terror.
So,
Yeah. Okay.
the way that this happens to me is hysterical because everyone's gone, right, doing their mission thing,
Uh-huh.
except for Captain Trantor.
And my favorite Martian.
Trantor or traitor?
Ooh, a train tour.
To her,
Get
know,
it? It's
to
a play on words.
it's because like traitor, like
Mhm.
she's a traitor to her crew because she's
Right.
not out there like
'Cause
in the
she-
trenches.
Because she likes to barter. She didn't like to use cash.
Oh my god!
Hell yeah. So, she is cooped up playing video games.
Do the
I'm
hiccups?
a little pleased with myself on
Yeah,
that
no,
one.
that's
so
pretty
much
good.
so you got
Pretty good.
hiccups.
I didn't hiccup. I just had a little.
Just chuckle. Anyway. No, she's playing this game, and then the chef shows up, and he's like, hey, pretty much just like, hey, remember when your whole crew died? She just went fucking just like cold face again. And he's like, hey, there's actually nothing on that screen. She was like, but there is.
But there.
Which is dumb. I don't
Yeah.
know why that. It's like, no, clearly the spaceship thing that she's shooting. Also, it kind of makes it seem like they made a video game for her to play
to
deal with
to help
the
with her
fact-
PTSD.
Yeah, and it's just like, no, the opposite needs to be happening. Like, what the fuck? And then for some reason, I don't know why, and it doesn't explain why.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, they're here, and starts shooting them in the game, and then just picks up a gun
Yeah.
that's fucking the biggest gun we've seen in the movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
And she just,
Bigger than the blow 'em up fire gun.
yeah,
That Zalman's running around with fucking everybody
Yeah.
with.
way bigger than that.
Yeah.
And then she's like, peace out, runs away with this gun, and then this fucking cook is just like, I guess I'll fucking save your game. Or whatever. And like, then she just like runs to somewhere in the ship, and then the doors open up, and then fire happens.
Right.
That's it.
So
I don't know.
How does the I don't
subtle
under-
the subtle nuance to why people die the way that they do in this movie is because the Planet Master has set it all up as a game.
Yeah.
And everybody's death is basically their biggest fears, which makes no sense
No, it does not.
considering the way that Damia dies.
Well,
Which is a fear, right?
Yes.
But there's not any point in my life that I would imagine a maggot growing to astronomical sizes and then fucking me to death.
Right.
It's more, guys. It's more of a metaphorical fear.
Is it?
I mean, that's how the actress explains it later on in interviews. Taffy is her name.
Yeah.
Which is pretty fun. Taffy and a last name. That's her real name. You don't have to silent laugh over there. That is her actual, for real life, real name.
I'm not doing
She's
that.
It's Taffy.
No, it's not. It's Taffy.
No, it's Taffy.
It's Taffy. But she explains it like, it's because I was progressively a lead engineer or whatever. And at that time, there hadn't really been women like that in those roles.
Right.
So the way I viewed it is that it was my own sexuality that I was afraid of and submission that I was afraid of. And so that's why the giant worm maggoty beast raped me to death.
Orgasmed her to death.
Yes.
That's a funner way to say that.
So, yeah. I mean, that's technically, by the time they had to cut out snippets here and there of that scene in order to get the R rating over the X rating, that's how they were trying to play it off. Like,
Yeah.
see her faces, see the facial expression she's making. It's like she kind of enjoys it, right?
There's
Yeah.
two things
Right.
Rodger Corman wants in a movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's gory deaths
Uh-huh.
and sex.
Yeah.
And he told the producers, we're going to have both of those things. There, but he couldn't work a sex scene into this other than
Just to combine the two. Yeah, just
Yeah.
to combine the two. Which I feel like we do need to say, because we've been talking about Rodger Corman so much.
it's not his.
It makes it seem as if he directed it,
He
and
did
he did not direct it.
No.
He produced it.
all he does is produce movies.
Right.
That's
Oh.
the thing. Is
So really, he reads like scripts that other people have written, and he's like, "This sounds like garbage.
this-
Let's fucking
do
do
it."
it."
Yeah,
Yeah, pretty
yeah,
much.
exactly.
Also, only way I'm gonna okay this is if I can put tits and goop in this,
Yep.
and it's just like, yeah, I'll work that in.
Yeah.
For sure.
Now,
Totally fine.
that being said, he does kind of let everybody who is working on the film kind of take their own aspect of things too,
Which
So,
is awesome.
yeah, because another very important part of this movie is that it's a James Cameron movie too. That's another thing about this is
Yeah.
that all of these sets, all of these effects that were built on and created were James Cameron doing a lot of it.
Yeah.
And you can see that in the movie, especially considering the fact that once again, this is Rodger Corman's Alien, right? And if you look at the contrast between this movie and then what we eventually see in Aliens that James Cameron does, very identical as far as like the shots between like the hallways, the way that the landscapes are, the kind of like dark, moody atmosphere of everything. This is his test for Aliens,
Yeah.
in
Right.
essence, which is badass.
Also, because he did all of the miniatures and things like that and like built up the set,
Mm-hmm.
Bill Paxton was a painter on
Bill
the
Paxton
set.
was
Yeah.
in this movie. Yeah, that's right.
He wasn't in the
a
movie.
part of the movie.
Yeah.
yeah.
But still.
See,
Mhm.
this movie, like, you know, it's much as, like, you know, it can be laughed at in some spots. The movie felt like it was just shy of, like, being something just straight up amazing. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Because, like, yeah, it does feel, like, have the same sort of feel as Aliens.
Mhm.
And, like, the gnarly ass pyramid, like,
Yeah.
evil as hell, so dope,
Right. And for
it's
this
just-
type of movie, what goes into that aspect of it all, it could have just easily been just some bullshit fucking pyramid
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
But no, they worked it out.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of time and care that went into the movie. It's just when there's the giant pyramid and it's very ominous,
Yes.
all I can think about is how some old dude with a flamethrower is going to light everything in this thing on fire.
Yeah.
And then it's just comical. It's just like, it's so almost there, but it's not that like it missed the mark. It's just like, no, that's what we wanted to do.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
we wanted to put all this time and effort into making it look cool. We just want to also not take this seriously whatsoever. It's like if somebody was on the set and was like, we really need to like be serious, guys, and then everyone was like, all right, we'll be serious, and then that's aliens. That's aliens.
Yeah.
But then when people are just like, what? Why?
Yeah.
No.
Let's have fun.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
Beside, I mean, there's a lot of ridiculous parts, but what's another ridiculous part is whenever they're actually trying to get into the pyramid and you have these giant ass heavy door that you can't, that's like closing on you, right? And they're trying to stop it from closing, and fucking what does Sid do? He throws a little crystal glaive at the door to try to stop it.
Well, there was two.
Through both.
Yeah,
Through
yes,
two.
that is true.
And they shatter, and they're like, "What?"
He was
like, did you
fucking
really?
blown away.
Yeah, he was very shocked and saddened.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you expect that to hold the door? I mean, for the love of crying out loud, that's not going to happen.
It maybe, I mean,
It did for a little bit.
yeah, also,
Half a second.
Yeah.
And then shattered into a million pieces, and also shattered his soul at the same time.
but
Right.
based on what happened after that, when he hung behind and then it like reformed and at some point part of the shards worked their way into his body.
arm.
Yeah, it just
And
broke
then-
off.
Yeah.
Like the fully formed one, like was thrown by his severed
Own
arm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which so that's another
I
thing.
could
So
see how
let's
he
set
would
that,
think.
let's set that scene up. So he's got a fragment of his crystal blade traveling up his forearm, and yet just
Because
hits
one
his
of them,
arm.
the first one, when they both reform, one of
Yeah.
them flies at him,
Yep.
Right.
and then I guess he tries to catch it or something like that, which is impossible.
Right.
And
True.
it stabs him, and then just breaks off, and it's just like traveling
Right.
up.
And then to stop it, he hits his arm, which
he punches his
somehow
own arm off.
knocks his entire arm off.
Well, I thought he grabbed the other the glaive because there's three thingies.
3 blades.
One of them is in him. I thought that he grabbed the
Yeah.
other two and was just like,
Just chops it.
Like, it's
Yeah.
fucking gone. Just like, ah!
And that may have been the case. Quite honestly,
Some things you just
all I
don't really
saw-
have to pay attention
no,
to.
I just saw him hit his arm, and the entire thing comes off.
That's
Dude.
what I saw as well, but I felt like I had to have missed something.
Yeah.
I was just like, they didn't just make him
There's
punch his own arm off, right? Like,
Right? He's that strong. But then, then his reanimated, severed arm takes the other glaive and throws it and kills him. Yeah.
yeah. Ugh.
Brilliant.
Oh my gosh.
It's fantastic. Anyways.
Fucking
Yeah.
rules.
And then as they enter the cavern, in order to get through this pyramid of doom, they have to travel through the world's smallest pinhole slide. How? You're trying to get to the top, and yet they always slide down.
Down.
Well, if it slides down, right, you're going to get more momentum to go up.
Yeah,
Ah!
To a degree.
Sure.
No.
Is that what
That's-
we saw?
That's not at all.
No.
Okay.
No, what we saw was horseshit. No,
Yeah.
it's all
And then
fake.
Eventually, they're attacked by monsters, this, that, and the other, and get back out, and then just find the stairs to go up to the top.
Oh, man, this would have been so much easier.
So much. Oh, we could have just done this, guys.
After Freddy fought himself, though.
That's right. So
Well, that
Freddy
was fun.
versus
And then
Freddy was a
disappeared.
good scene.
Well, because they did a thing where they're like, we're walking. Oh, there's this weird door that we've got to like do some switch thing for.
right.
And the doctor's there, and Freddy Krueger is just like, yo, this doctor guy is fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bad dude. And everyone's just like, stop it.
He's fine.
Don't
Don't worry
worry
about
about
that
it. You're worrying.
And then so, the doctor does this thing, and then a triangle shows up, very Void-esque,
Mhm.
and then they walk to it, and looks very awkward. Maybe like they're walking
up to a wall?
up to a
Up
wall.
to a wall
That just has
and
a
then
triangle
somehow
painted on it?
appear on the other side.
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
walk through the triangle. One of them does, and then disappears, and then the other two people are like, probably a good idea.
Let's all do that.
Nope. But I mean, for one person, it's fine.
Yeah.
Actually, technically, for two people, it's 100% okay.
Yeah.
I
It
don't
worked
know.
out. Yeah.
Yeah.
But obviously, it teleports you into some other aspect of this pyramid where you
The
end up.
tippity top.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then you find your deepest fear, which apparently Freddy's deepest fear is himself. And Joni's deepest fear is a tentacle monster who squishes her until she explodes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing sexy happens though.
Not to her, no. But
I thought there was gonna be.
I
No.
did too. The whole time I was like, "Are there gonna?"
Are there gonna be?
I mean,
fun
I'm not
tentacles?
like, I'm like trying to, I wasn't like encouraging it or anything. That wasn't what was happening.
there was just a level of hope.
A new hope.
Yeah.
Certain kinds of
I
movies,
mean, after and you
Mm.
would expect, especially given after the maggot scene. Okay,
Yeah, all
Oh,
bets
sure.
are off
Yeah.
at that point. Like, because not only was it just like any old maggot, it was like a maggot of that was just hanging out.
it was
and
just walking by.
Well, no, it was on Sid Haig's arm.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Because in this planet there are invisible flies all over the fucking
Right.
place, and
Yeah.
his arm was on the ground for like fucking what
5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then all the maggots were there,
Right.
which is like, yo,
Which, how
like they
did
have
they-
to lay eggs
you-
and then they hatch. There's like a whole process.
yeah,
here.
there's
Yeah.
there's a level
Mhm.
of progress that has to be made
Yes.
when it comes to maggots turning into other things. They
It's-
don't just appear as maggots. They're not,
guys. I think we keep overthinking things. So anytime
It's just
something
fun.
seems crazy, I'm gonna just say Galaxy of Terror. Like that's
Okay,
it's
right.
because we're
Mhm.
in the Galaxy of Terror on
Yeah.
this one planet.
But I can see how after the maggot thing,
You
you'd be
would
rearing to go for tentacle death.
Right.
well, because
and
I
stuff.
didn't know, and to be honest, I'm just gonna say it. I came across that scene somewhere else on a website. That
What website was that?
it's a
Christian
website.
Mingle.
I can't. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't say it. We're not sponsored by them, so I cannot say it. But you technically have to be at least 18 years of age to go to it.
And you've been to it. Don't lie to yourself.
Everybody has. I'm not lying to myself. I'm not lying to myself
No,
at
I
all.
was talking to our listeners.
Oh, okay. I'm fully aware of how many times I've been there.
Rhymes
Thank you
with
so much.
corn tub.
Correct. You are correct.
Weirdly
You
enough,
are
if
correct.
you go to Porntub, it's the same shit,
Yeah.
Yeah.
just a little different.
It's kind of different.
Mhm.
But that was the wackiest shit ever, though. When we were watching that, and I was just like, this seems so familiar. Why do I
Hilarious.
know this? Oh my God.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
So I thought that maybe that was going to happen again with Joni, but it didn't.
No.
Her head just exploded,
Oh.
and her body got cut in half
Yep.
It was pretty cool.
by tentacles. Yeah, it was. The way they did it was pretty
And on the other side of the
awesome.
galaxy, you could hear Chachi go, "No,
Not Joni! She loves me! Oh. And the Fonz was like,
Hey.
yeah. Oh man. But yeah, the maggots, they were it's like, okay, out of context, if you happen to come across that scene like I did, you don't know that's a maggot, so it doesn't
No.
seem, it's just like a weird alien thing, and
It's
your
true.
brain can just like let go of that, right? Like if you're if you have those proclivities,
Oh, yeah,
if
no,
you will.
explain it away.
Yeah, I mean,
No,
you
no,
don't
no.
go in thinking, "Oh, this obviously had to have been a maggot that somehow grew into astronomical sizes
Uh-huh.
and then raped this chick."
Yeah.
And also, you don't know it's rape at the when you're
She was
anyway.
thinking it at the end.
I will say, yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. She,
Right.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah, that's
Hence the orgasmed to death.
yes.
Mhm.
It was very goopy. I think she almost got crushed by that
yeah.
I'm gonna. Yeah,
in real life. The
Oh.
actress almost got
yeah,
crushed.
No, yeah. The prop that they were using, literally was crushing her at the time.
Yeah.
And
Damn.
You were like, yes, her vagina did get crushed.
yeah,
You are correct. Yeah. No, yeah. I think it really almost caused bodily harm, or
Yeah.
did cause bodily harm.
Damn.
Yeah.
Seems
but
fine now.
Which that was another thing, is because when this part was written, she had read the script up to all this point and everything, and there was nothing in her contract about having any nude scenes. And
Yeah,
Rodger was
that's
like,
right.
"Oh no, it's fine, you're good. We got this other lit chick to do
Yeah.
the thing that you have to do." And she's like, "Oh, okay."
yeah.
So this chick's, the body double's sole job is to come in and get raped by a giant maggot.
Mhm.
and then in the end,
She changed her mind, though, right?
yeah, in
That-
the end, they actually used like primarily most of those scenes are her body.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
yeah.
they were like hanging around, like not like woo partying, but like hanging around drinking.
Yeah.
And then she was like, "You know what? I'll do it."
Whatever.
And he was like, "Yes, don't have to
Sick.
hire somebody else."
Yeah.
Thank God.
We've all been there. You're like,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, a couple of Bud Lights.
I think she said she was
Yo,
drinking
toss me some
brandy.
BLs and we'll be good. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was brandy.
I
A
know.
little heavier, but whatever.
It's
Brandy,
so
you're a
funny.
fine girl.
Brandy. God, this song is so good.
It is. It
it's
is
a
a
good
good
one.
song. Yeah. Okay. So
Where do we go? Where do we go?
Okay, so after chick gets split in half, not by
Giant
the maggot AO, but
Yeah.
with the tentacles and stuff like that, and Cameron, her man, I don't know.
The
lover.
guy.
like
Yeah.
sees her body. It's just like no,
No.
but really
I'm
like
so
that's kind of
sad.
it.
Yeah.
And then like what's so funny is he sees his lover
Right.
Lover.
exploded.
Straight up.
And then Freddy Krueger comes around. He's just like, dude, man, turns out I just had to find myself.
Yeah.
Isn't that nuts?
Yeah.
And then the
Insane.
other guy's just like, yeah, I guess. And like, that's kind of it.
That's the last time you see Freddy. And
No, that's not. This is what's fucking annoying is then both of them are like, cool, sorry about your lady. And dude, I just kicked myself's ass. I'm so dope. And then they walk past her corpse.
They just like
Right.
step over it.
Just
like, whoop.
whoop, fuck you.
Jesus.
And then it's just like this
Sorry.
open, awesome, just like room, I guess.
Yeah.
And then like there's the not stairs.
Mm-hmm.
And then old dude, Cook, is just like, surprise, bitch. I'm
Right.
the bad guy the whole time.
Yeah.
And then there's just like, oh, there's no way to get up there. And then the dude was just like, well, maybe if I fucking look real hard at these steps, they'll
I
appear.
can walk up.
And so that's what happened.
And that's
And then fucking Freddy Krueger is just like, pass.
yep.
Miss me on this shit.
Yep. He's done.
And then just sits fucking down.
Yeah.
Just like pops the squad. And he's just like, yo, dude.
And that's what I
fucking-
meant. This is the last time you see anything happen
Yeah.
with Freddy
But
at
it's
all.
just
He's just like, I'm done.
You're right there. All you have to, the steps
out.
are there.
He just went off to fight some Dream Warriors.
Dude, fucking yes. He was just like, had a lot of fun fighting myself. Guess I'm going to just become a dream demon
Yeah.
now.
I don't know. Maybe I'll kill some kids and set myself on fire.
Yeah. Dope. That's it.
That's it.
He's just gone. And it's just like,
But then,
okay.
yeah, and so then he goes up the stairs and we find out that my favorite Martian is Planet Master.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay. And he goes to shoot him. Deflector shields. Sorry,
Okay.
not touching me.
Yeah,
Whatever.
I'm too
He's
dope.
like, oh, well, what if I just stand here and talk to you for a minute and then somehow shoot you out of my belly?
Well, okay.
I know
There were
everybody
some other
said
things
belly.
that happened too, though.
I like to pretend like he was
But that's-
shooting from his crotch.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like,
Yeah.
Really-
With his dick laser. That's
Yeah.
how he got
The only
Planet
thing that
Master.
happened in between that is he was pretty much like, yo,
It's a game.
I'm way cooler than bullets. Also, this shit has been a game the whole time.
Right.
He's like, why would you do this?
I can't believe
Oh my
you.
god, why did everybody have to die? And he's just like, because I'm Jigsaw, bitch.
I know.
Also,
It
here's all
did
your
feel like
dead
that.
ass, bitch ass friends.
Oh, that's right.
Because they all
They all
lost.
resurrect. Yeah.
And then so he's just like, all right. And then out of fucking nowhere, he knows like jujitsu
Yeah.
and just starts flip kicking these bitches.
Which
Yeah.
best fight scene is Sid Haig one arm kung fu fighting,
Dude.
With oh yes,
So dope.
yes.
But he beats everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Because he is the master. And then
The new master.
yeah, and then like lights change to blue, very fucking Luke Skywalker,
Mhm.
and then turn red again, and then he's just like, you have won. He's like, I don't want to be no goddamn planet master, and he's just like, too late. And then he's just like, okay.
And then the last dragon plays. You are the last dragon.
And then laser dick
Death.
and then the Planet Master dies.
He disappears. He doesn't. He just fades out of existence.
The
Man.
Planet Master himself like swoops on into Cameron, and then the dead cook guy is just like, yo, I'm dead.
Yeah. Honestly, I was having a really hard time staying awake towards the end of this movie, so some of this is news to me. Like, my eyes were open, but I don't remember a lot of it.
Well,
And
that's pretty
also
much
fell asleep, but it was before I was like dozing in and out before they walked into the void triangle.
Yeah.
And then once Freddy had to fight himself, I was very much awake
Yeah.
for like the rest of the movie.
I was awake. I've seen this movie several times, and I've been awake all the times. But regardless, that was it.
That was
Credits
the whole
roll.
movie.
When
Yeah.
credits rolled, I was baffled because there was this whole other character that I've mentioned multiple times now that was just not in the movie anymore.
I was relieved. I was like, man, all right, well, that was a fun experience.
Mhm.
I need to go to bed because I
Yeah.
have been trying to get through this last 20 minutes when everything completely fell apart.
It was bananas.
Yeah.
Whoa. Galaxy of Terror.
It was a Galaxy of Terror.
Yeah, it was.
But it was fun.
It
it's
is
not.
fun.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
It's silly. It's ridiculous. It's over the top.
Yeah.
And
Oh, it's great.
yeah, it's
It's a
10
lot
out
of
of
fun.
10 would recommend.
yeah. There's not a time you wouldn't watch this movie.
Yeah.
No, definitely not.
I would like to make a short about Freddy Krueger's character at the end, where he's just like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I guess I
Like,
leave.
Cavern
I don't."
comes down.
I'm still
And
here.
he's like, "Hey, I'm the Plant Master." It's like,
Sick, dude.
Cool.
That would be so funny. Yeah. Cameron walks down, just like, "Dude, I'm the Planet Master." Like, "Oh, dude, nice." How the fuck do we get out of here?
Yeah,
It's like, "Oh, I mean, I can leave all the time.
right.
I'm the Planet Master."
I can just do this.
But I don't know about you because the triangle thing is gone
Yeah.
that we walked into. So I guess it's just like this is fucking where you die.
And he's just like, "Can I like hitch a ride?" I mean, I guess the ship's still out there.
Yeah, but like the way that they came
It's
is no longer there.
It's true.
Because they turned around and the triangle thing was just like, poof.
But
gone.
if
Yeah.
he went through a series of games and tests again,
I think he could.
would it
I think-
reappear?
I think he could make it.
Do
it.
With
do it in
that-
reverse. Just
Yeah.
like- it's like, well, I just beat this shit out of myself
He,
like 5
he
minutes
comes
ago.
across
round
the,
two.
the crystal glaive. He fashions like shards of glass on his hand.
Mhm.
Battles his way out.
Makes the crystal glove. He's just the good guy, Freddy Krueger.
He's
Yeah.
like,
Just like,
So this movie was
Let's
directed
keep
by
moving.
Bruce D. Clark
there we go.
and not Rodger Corman.
Yeah,
What else did Bruce D. do?
a lot of a
Just
few
dumb
things.
shit.
A few
some more
things.
just dumb shit.
I think he did more than these films, but these were like the ones that he definitely for sure directed.
Yeah.
So I put little descriptions of the films.
Let's hear them.
Okay, we have not seen any of these. This is purely based on the art of the posters.
Let's start with Naked Angels.
Okay, Naked Angels is a movie about a badass mama that gets revenge.
dope.
Sick.
Cool. Okay.
Is that like surf Nazis?
It's like
That
not-
must die.
Yes.
Let's go with Hammer.
Hammer is an underbox.
Underbox.
That is another name for lady bits.
an underbox.
It's the female taint.
Jesus.
It's the underbox.
An underbox sounds like it is just only held moldy shoes underground. That's disgusting. Never want to meet a woman that calls her vagina her underbox. It's like, you're gross.
You're whispering.
I'm gonna get sick.
Yes. Okay. Hammer. Underdog boxer has to kick ass outside of the ring movie.
Okay, so you said that these descriptions were solely based off of movie posters.
Yeah.
How?
And they're like small synopsis.
Oh,
sorry.
okay.
Also
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
Because I would
That's
like to
a
imagine
very
a
accurate
poster.
description.
Yeah,
based off
exactly.
of the-
It's like the poster is like one half it's like dude in the ring, and then the other half is just like I'm just wearing regular pants now, and then there's a beat up, clearly bad guy next to me. It's just like, all right, he's a boxer, but he's beating up bad guys.
outside the ring.
Yeah. Also, I read the synopsis of the movies, and apparently his boss is in the mafia.
Oh, that makes sense.
You know, so that's obviously what's
Very
going to happen.
Daredevil's daddy of him.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And then ski bums. I wasn't really sure what to make of this description. I didn't really know. I was just like hijinks and snow movie?
Which,
Question mark?
yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I guess it's about a
and
ski
homeless,
instructor.
I guess, because bums.
Yeah,
Maybe.
just homeless person,
Homeless no hijinks.
Oh my god.
Nice.
So yeah, he's made some doozies.
Yeah.
It sounds like, but that was the director, and I think he also co-wrote the film as well with some
Sure.
other person. So, and then James Cameron was an associate director because he was doing his stuff and he was looking around watching what everybody else was doing. And he's like, I couldn't fuck it up any worse than
Yeah.
what they have.
And so they gave him shots to do, and so he
Yeah.
ended up becoming like the second unit director.
uh-huh.
Mhm.
Yeah, and this
Yeah.
was like the first movie that had ever done anything like that for.
Because he was doing production design before.
Right.
Yeah.
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 And it was sick. I mean, the sets were great. The way, what was it? They took mealworms and used an electric plate or something to
Yeah.
make the maggots on the arm.
Mhm.
Move. Yeah, because they weren't actual maggots for reals, not
Because
just
they're
trying
not that
to explain
Hey.
away.
Mhm.
But yeah, so they were millworms, and the millworms didn't actually writhe like maggots do, and so they ran a metal rod through the prosthetic arm and electrified it during the
Nice.
scenes, and so that caused the millworms to jump up and down and around. And then, so okay, I don't know, you know. Sometimes with these Hollywood types, they tell stories about themselves, right? And you're
Uh-huh.
like, I don't know if that's true. I hope it is. That sounds cool. Or if you're just really proud of yourself and maybe a little braggadocious, which is fine, I guess.
Totally fine.
Totally fine.
Braggadocious is such a good word.
It is.
Mhm.
But he tells a story about how he had heard
Who is he?
James Cameron.
Okay.
So sorry. That there were like
Sorry, I just didn't know.
No, I was saying I'm sorry. I should have said his name. So I guess that there were like studio figures like walking around and like watching all of the goings on, and so they would see between shooting that the millworms weren't doing anything, and then when they started shooting that they were like coming alive and jumping up around, blah 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 blah. And so it is rumored that they said to one another, if he has that effect on insects, imagine what he can do with actors.
Wah, wah.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, James Cameron,
Yawn.
you were patting yourself a little bit
Yeah.
on the back there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
That
Electricity.
guy.
You
Yeah.
nerd. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just a nerd. And that's fine.
Oh,
It's
definitely.
okay.
Yeah.
Which is fun, considering that he was able to do so much with so little, yet blows his wad on movies like Avatar.
Yeah, he's gotten away from that. He's definitely gotten away from using, what burger boxes
Mhm.
made of. What is polystyrene? Is that like
It's like what they used to make, like the old, like when you would go to like a McDonald's or something like that. It was a hardened kind of plastic styrofoam. that-
okay?
It's like when you went to return. This is just something from when I was a kid. They haven't used it in so many years, but for the most part nowadays, all the trays that you use at like a Whataburger or whatever is just a plastic tray. You know, but back in the day, it was like a polystyrene until everyone was like, styrofoam is bad for the environment.
Mhm.
Let's use plastic because that's much better.
Yeah.
Right.
But anyways, yeah, it was just a bunch of leftover, like they found
Polystyrene
Yeah.
burger boxes and just like odd gadgety looking bits and pieces, and then used McDonald's trays, things like that were used to build up the set inside the ship. So he just knick-knacked his way into making something that actually looked pretty cool.
Yeah.
Upcycled.
He did. he upcycled, and then he played with lights and different shots and angles, and got something really cool in a lot of the scenes that he did, and which turned out really well for them because the director, like the first unit was running behind, and so they would ask him to come in and help shoot other scenes to get them caught up.
Nice.
So, and now he is James Cameron.
Yeah. And made Aliens shortly thereafter.
Yeah.
And then
only a couple years later.
Yeah. And it was dope.
Yeah.
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 So good.
And if you want to hear about that, we have an episode.
Got you. We got you.
Yep. Way
Ins and
back.
outs of that fucking awesome ass movie and all the tricks that they had to do with that.
Yeah. Wow.
So insane. Oh my gosh, it was so good. Oh my gosh,
The
you
longest
guys.
movie ever.
It was such a long movie. I actually stayed awake that time though.
You did.
It did.
Yeah.
Is it time?
It is. It's Galaxy of Terror. Watch that shit.
Yeah.
Just do it.
It's
Just
fun.
fucking do
Yeah,
it.
it's super fun.
If
We
you
watched it
haven't.
on Cinemax.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's out there.
Yeah.
It's
You can find
it's
it.
a Cinemax type movie, if you know what I mean. A wink,
Wah,
wink,
wah.
nudge, nudge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't pay for Cinemax, by the way. We're not chumps.
No, we had that free trial, yo.
Yeah.
Holla.
Yeah.
Which is worth. Also, there's fucking nothing else on Cinemax.
Hostel, which you guys won't let me watch.
Oh, well, hold
No,
on.
that's
Do
not-
not say you guys, because I was very on board when you were like, let's fuck with Camille. And I was like, yeah.
Yeah, let's
I'm
do it.
totally down to watch like the first 15 minutes of Hostel. Definitely.
Until she realizes what movie it is.
Which was very quick. Because I forgot how that I forgot how the intro of that movie is, where it's just like somebody cleaning up
yeah,
a death room,
yeah.
and it's just like, oh,
And
yeah.
then it is outside, and it's the sign that
Says
says
hostel.
hostel.
Well, I forgot that it did that.
Yeah.
It's been when I
One
watched
word.
Hostel, I was like, I was 18 when I watched Hostel, and I was in an airport on my way to Georgia.
I
Ugh.
saw that shit the day it came out in theaters.
Yeah, I
took
bet.
off
I
work.
have never seen it.
I took
I have
off
not.
work to see that fucking thing.
It's not great.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like there's not a lot of substance to the movie. It's literally
No.
just like my synopsis of the movie is some tourists go to a different country. Doesn't matter which one.
No, it doesn't matter.
I know it's one of them.
Right.
Doesn't matter. And they're like, we're gonna get off the airport, and then some like get out of the airport, and then some guy's like, hey, I'll drive you to your hotel, and they're like, that is just so nice.
It's so weird that you just know what hotel we're going
Yeah,
to.
and then he's like, hey, JK. And then they end up in a fucking death warehouse
Yeah.
where people just pay money to do literally whatever the fuck they want. And then, like,
And that's
one of
what's
the girls
insane.
tries and gets out.
Yeah.
Like,
Ugh.
What it is just the fucked up situations that they're in, and just the brutality of the mind of Eli Roth with
Mhm.
like, how can I hurt somebody real bad? And to this day, imagining a drill going into your knee.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
No, done.
there were some that, like, weren't as bad.
No.
You know? Like, there was the...
But I think we have this coming up on the
We
list
do.
at
do.
some point.
Oh, dope.
cannot
Not
wait.
to be
Nice.
just we're gonna do it.
Are we
you know?
going to do
I'm
1,
gonna-
2, and 3?
Yeah.
No.
That's my hopes
I
and
don't
dreams.
think. I don't think we're gonna need to start a couple of weeks in advance with
Mhm.
that. As far as our watching is concerned, I don't think I can hammer out like those
Hammer out Hostel.
At least
3
1 and
movies within like 2 days. I just don't think.
I've only seen the first one.
Ooh,
Is the second one worse?
you'll
'cause-
find out.
Oh,
Watch like the one room. This is the last one I'll talk about. The one room that the chick runs into, and this dude just like has a guy on a table.
Yeah,
just
he's just
strapped
doing
down.
the thing.
only thing that is in this fucking guy's room is like a human on a table and then a fucking flat top, essentially. Well, it's like a burner
Yeah.
and a pot or a pan, and he's just like cutting the skin, like the muscle on this dude's leg, and making steak.
Yeah.
and
And then he sees her and he's just like, hey.
what's up?
It's
Don't get a lot of people coming in here.
like, that's weird.
Yeah, because everyone
Mosey.
in there is just so fucking depraved that they're, I mean, the only people that anyone else sees is like people that have paid for their time. So it's just
Right.
like, the fuck are you doing in here?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not mad, but I mean, like, I know you paid for this.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, no, I didn't. Also, here's this dog,
Oh.
which and that was fun. But yeah,
Anyways.
I'm so confused.
That's coming up.
don't...
Oh,
That's coming up.
God.
Very excited.
Ugh,
That's
God.
coming up.
but yeah, watch fucking
Galaxy of Terror.
Galaxy of Terror. Rip.
And yeah.
So
Sid
sad.
Haig.
Yeah.
I was legitimately bummed out, like for real.
Yeah.
Because like there hasn't been a whole lot of like celebrity death that has like that I've cared about really.
Identified with. Yeah.
Well, it's like the only other like quote unquote famous person that I've really cared about them passing away was Tom Petty. And that sucked. And then when I saw that Sid Haig died, I was like, no, dude,
I
what?
was like, man, when Lemmy died, it was like, God damn, that sucks.
Yeah.
But knowing that Lemmy died from natural causes makes it that much more hardcore.
Yeah.
It's like,
Well-
it wasn't the whiskey. It wasn't anything. It was just, I'm old.
I'm old. I'm done. I'm literally done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he did live his life the way he wanted to.
Yep.
That probably sped the process up a little bit.
How
he
old
didn't.
was he?
He didn't OD.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
But-
like late 70s. I don't remember.
No, well, that's not
Yeah.
bad.
Oh, I guess that's not too bad at all.
Yeah.
Mine,
It's
the,
time,
mine-
basically.
was David Bowie for
Yeah,
sure
Yeah.
because he was not that old and he had
No.
cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It's definitely not that I didn't care about that one. It was, I liked Bowie,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't really listen to a lot of David Bowie.
Right.
But every time I hear David Bowie, I'm
You're
like,
like,
man, this is so fucking
Yeah.
good. And it's
Yeah.
like, I just haven't done it yet, Like,
Yeah.
I haven't, like, sat down and been like, I am into David Bowie right
Right.
now. And that is it, which is happens a lot. Like, it just hasn't come around to David
Yep.
Bowie yet.
I
And then
think,
when it will, I'll be sad.
yeah, it's kind of been my whole life from like,
I'll probably be
I
real
don't know.
sad when Robert Smith dies.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
for sure,
Yeah.
for sure. Yes, because that's another one. Like from, I don't know, freshman year on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like always been one of my go-tos
Yeah.
for sure.
I mean, that's how it was, like, with Tom Petty, because I listened to him all the time with my grandparents. Like,
Yeah.
mainly my grandma. Like, I listened to, like, like Led Zeppelin and Sabbath and everything. Like, when
Right.
Ozzy dies, I'll cry.
Yeah.
Just because, like, I listened to so much Black Sabbath with my grandpa. And my grandpa didn't care so much for Tom Petty because it was bubblegum rock.
Yeah.
Oh,
Burn.
your grandpa's so cool.
Yeah, and
I ain't got time for that pansy shit.
yeah, exactly. But then when I was in the car with my grandma, it was just like Tom Petty all day and like Phil Collins.
Right.
And so it was just like, yeah, I fucking love both of them. And when I saw Tom Petty, I saw him once and I cried.
Aw.
Aww.
And then yeah, when he died, I was just like, fuck, and I cried again.
Aw.
Like, yeah, it was like that was definitely my like David Bowie moment.
Mm.
Yeah.
You know?
I think the only time, I don't know if I cried when David Bowie died, but
It's a sad day.
it
Yeah.
was a sad day.
Yeah.
It was a really sad day. But I did cry when Joey Ramone died.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
But I was also in high school and
Yeah.
feeling a lot of emotions.
yeah.
So
Ramones are always a good, no matter what kind of like mood you're in,
Mhm.
if it's like a downer mood, I should say,
Yeah.
it's always a good pick me up.
Yeah.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Welcome to our music podcast, you guys.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All that to get to our only segment of the show.
Yay!
This is the kill of the week.
All right.
Okay.
So, kill of the week.
Kill of the week.
This was another one that's just like, obviously.
Obvious.
Obviously, this
Obviously.
is the one. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
The
we
first
didn't.
one.
We didn't name it.
we didn't name this one. No.
I named the first one.
Oh,
You got it.
yeah. It's kind of gross.
What is it?
Go for it.
You guys ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's the slug fuck.
Yes.
My parents are so proud of me, you guys. They're so proud of
But
the
wait,
things
wait,
I do with
It has to
them.
be of terror, though.
Oh, that's right.
That's
Oh,
true. Yeah,
that's
yeah.
right. Okay, okay,
So what
you
is
ready?
it? What is it?
It's the slug fuck of terror.
Yes.
Oh man.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So do we want to go into any more detail about
I'll let
this one?
Camille do it. I want to hear this.
Yeah, you go for it. Go for it. Champ?
Get it.
Okay. It's goopy and slimy
Mhm.
and naked, and it looks like fun, but then she dies, so that's sad. Is that okay?
But she
You-
didn't mind much at the time. She
Well
didn't-
spoken.
Okay.
She didn't mind much. So, yeah.
You know what, guys?
Mhm.
We all have the things we're into, and just there's no need to be
No.
ashamed.
No,
You know,
there's no fetish shame here.
there's none of that. No king shaming, no fetish shaming here. Creepos Creep Show.
You do you.
Yeah.
Is this a commercial?
Come on down.
Come on down to Creepo's Creep Show where you fuck it, you like it. That's fine.
That's okay. It's consensual. It's on the up and up as far as legality is concerned. The more goops, the better, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know. That's fun. So anyway, that is why I think that this is the kill of the week.
Done.
All right.
If
Got
she
it.
had survived and maybe they like met up again from time to time, like when
Just
they were
like,
both having hard
Get a
days.
phone call every now and again. You know,
Like, what are you-
hey,
what are you
remember that
doing?
time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
just reminiscing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You doing all right?
How's it
Yeah,
going?
Ben.
You been okay?
You want to get a pizza or something? I don't know. You want to watch a movie?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's the one. Like,
Yeah.
Hey, you want to watch a movie? It's like you can just ask.
You
Yeah.
can just
If
say the words that you want to say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fine. Like we can,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
can. I'm down, but like we all know what this is. What
Yeah.
we're doing. Like,
Yeah. That's the slug. No, sorry. What is it? The maggot. That's the maggot's words. Like Taffy's like,
Oh yeah.
you want to get a pizza or something? And the maggot's like,
I mean,
girl, I know you want these like tentacles.
yeah.
I know you do,
I know
and
you're,
that's fine.
you're down to get your grub on.
Oh,
Yeah. Got
But yeah, she is. And I get it. I understand. It's fine.
Oh.
Anyway, kill of the week.
Kill of the week.
All right. Well, that's another one.
That's another one.
We
Down.
did it.
Another one down.
Mhm.
Next week, we're actually gonna do.
This time it's legit.
This time it's for real. Train to Busan.
Well, yes. That was all cut out of last
Oh,
week's
we
episode.
never said anything. Okay. All right.
I was asked.
That's right. That's right.
Well, last week I got it wrong, and Dylan so
you guys
kindly.
are just telling on yourself right now.
I didn't know. It's fine. Now with the cat is out of the bag.
Cat
I
is
got
out
the
of the
dates
bag.
wrong,
Mhm.
and Dylan corrected it. But now you guys know that I fucked up, and that's okay. We all do.
I did this for no reason.
Yeah. Your
I'll
work
be
has been
added to work.
null and void.
Yes.
So
Good,
sorry.
Good. But yeah, Train to Busan with.
Jessica
Jessica.
Dawes.
Mhm.
So excited
I've heard she's the K-pop queen about 8 times.
because she is.
Mhm.
She's the K-pop queen.
Nice.
Hey, did you guys know that Jessica is the K-pop queen?
Heard that.
Hold on. Wait.
Wow.
Yep. I've heard that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Also, she's a lovely human being
Mm-hmm.
who's very nice
Oh.
and thinks you guys
I've
are
met
both
her.
fun.
She's fine. I'm kidding.
As I'm oh my goodness.
You know that that's not true, and I don't feel that way.
That I
Jessica.
do.
You're great.
Yes.
I'm talking to Jessica now.
Oh, sorry. Yes, that is true. I'm backing him up that he believes that about you. She's going to be on the show. We'll all talk about it. Train to Busan.
Yeah.
What is that on? That's on Shudder right now.
It's like on, like I think it's on Netflix still. It's on Shudder for sure. A bunch of different places, really. I think it's still just kind of out there.
It's a zombie movie, yeah.
Get
Yeah.
you some.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's
Cool.
a Korean zombie movie.
Yes.
Sick.
No holds barred.
I already have mixed feeling. I kind of want Korean barbecue now that we're talking about
Let's do it.
which is troubling. But anyway, it's
Or-
going to be fun.
Perfect.
Yes.
In the meantime, follow us on Instagram.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say the names because we always get it backwards.
Yeah. And another behind the scenes thing, we're going to record the ending of the shows now.
That's another thing. That's
so
right.
that we don't have to do
say
this.
all that junk.
Yeah,
All
because
right.
it's a lot. It's a mouthful.
But still do the thing, though.
Yeah.
Still do that.
Do all the things.
But then listen after this so you know where it's at.
Yeah, don't stop now. Don't stop me now.
But you can stop now.
All right, we're gonna talk at you later, and next week or whenever you choose to listen to the
It's fine.
episodes.
You do you.
Mm-hmm. Weird
No listening shaming.
thing. Yeah, no listening shame.
yeah.
Creepo's Creep Show. No listening shaming.
2019.
Real quick, we have listeners like in different countries, and
We
it's
do.
wild.
Yeah.
Not a lot, but hey, if you're listening from not the United States,
Say hey.
saw, dude.
Holla.
It's very nice.
But
That is super nice. I don't get it. I'm
know.
very grateful.
Yeah, me
Send
too.
us a message, but I guess that's a
You-
thing that can happen because of the
yeah,
internet.
the internet is universal
Yeah.
and it's all over the place.
Yeah,
That's
it's like
right.
what it was designed for.
Yeah.
But now we just have memes and bullshit.
Yeah,
That's true.
all super fun.
Which leads to the internet of terror.
The internet of terror, where you can look up slug fucking anytime you want.
And
That
not
is
feel
true.
ashamed about it.
Of terror.
Of
Yeah.
terror.
All right.
Cool.
Well,
Yay.
bye.
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 Of terror. Hey, thanks for listening to the show. When you are done listening to the podcast, you could and should go check out us on social media.
Yeah. You can find us on Instagram at Creepo's Creep Show. Hit us up on Twitter at Creepo Creep Show. Or follow our streams and such at Creepos_Creep Show. Of course, you could always just email us at creeposcreepshow@gmail.com. And of course, look for us on Facebook as well. Creepo's Creep Show. I don't know if you've heard it enough.
That is true. That's a lot of creepos. Also, if you wouldn't mind hitting us up on iTunes, you could leave us a review. They're very helpful. They help other people find us, and it makes us feel good. That's probably more important, to be honest.
True that.
But anyway, we love it. We love you guys. Thank
Yay.
you.
Don't forget Spotify. That is also a thing. And that's fine.
Oh, yeah.
All the things.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Spotify. Rate us and review us on Spotify, too.
I don't know if that's a thing.
Yeah.
It's fine, though.
You might-
Whatever. You can listen to us there. If that's the only thing you can do, go there.
And whatever else podcast that you may use.
Yeah.
There's several of them.
There's a bunch.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch.
Yeah. Either way, thanks for listening anyway.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hope to hear
Bye.
from you. Bye.
Bye.
I don't know.